Hey y'all, I'm in the business of taking processes that are pretty common, right, and don't exist anywhere as like a how-to video. So in the past, actually a long time ago, I talked about how to take Illustrator into PowerPoint without plugins. Today, we're going to be talking about taking Zoom AI summaries into a HubSpot contact card for easy email recapping. You'd think this would be a process that's documented somewhere, but if you Google it or try to look it up, you can't find out how to do this, right? So I figured out how to do it, and this is a quick video on what this process looks like. The tech stack you're going to be needing for this process is a paid Zoom account that can capture AI summaries, a paid Zapier account, a Google Drive account, and then of course your HubSpot where your contacts are going to be living. So you're going to need all four of these for this process to work. Now, the process is going to consist of two separate zaps, right? The first zap is going to be taking the meeting summary and placing it into the Google Doc. The second zap is going to be referencing the Google Calendar so that it can pull the emails that were attached to that meeting in Zoom. And that way it can sync or like find those contacts within your HubSpot so that it can place the file into the correct contacts, right? That way your meeting summary for these contacts places into all the contacts. Let's say you have 4 people attending your meetings. Each of those 4 folks has their own contact card within HubSpot. You're going to have this AI summary end up on all 4 of those people's contact cards. Cool, so let's get into it. I'm going to be blurring out some data here and there just because it's going to have some company data. So don't worry about that, but I'll explain all the relevant parts. Okay, step 1. You're going to start with creating a zap. Like I said, there's going to be 2 separate zaps that complete this process. So this is just the first one that's creating our Google Doc. So first step you're going to want to have is to select Zoom as the app. And then whenever there's a new meeting summary pops up, that's what you're going to want the trigger event to be. Go ahead and pick your account and then test it out. Next, you're going to want to use a digest scheduler. This is a Zapier app, Digest by Zapier. So that's going to be your second step. You're going to have it append the entry and schedule a digest. We're actually not going to be scheduling it because we're having this go immediately to a HubSpot contact card, but that's just what the trigger is going to be. Next, you're going to want to put as the title the meeting topic. And then here in the summary is where you're going to pull in the relevant pieces of data that you're going to want from your meeting summary. We each might want a different thing. I just wanted the summary in the next step, so I've put those there. Then on the frequency, you're going to say manual. That's because your second zap is actually what's going to be sending this, so you don't need to worry about the digest actually sending the send of this. Go ahead and test that step. You should see that a digest entry was successfully appended. Lastly, you're going to have it create a document in Google Docs. So select Google Docs as your app and create a document from the text. Next, you're going to want the document name to be the same as the meeting topic. This is going to be important when we get to our second zap step. So make sure you do that. And then go ahead and place the current digest here in the document content. Then test your step. You should see that a document was sent to Google Docs. At this point, you should hop into your Google Docs and make sure that that document was created and it looks the way you want it to look. Okay, assuming that your first zap was all successful and you've now got that Zoom AI summary sending to a Google document which looks the way you want it to look when you click into it from HubSpot, you're going to publish that zap, leave it alone, and start a whole new Zapier. This one, the trigger is going to be that an event ended in Google Calendar, right? So the Zoom AI summary is only going to be available after the event ends. You're going to want to make the event end be your trigger. And this trigger is pretty simple. You're just going to end up picking your calendar and clicking test, and you should see some events start to pop up that have happened in the past. If you're wanting to test this IRL, make sure you're using an event or something that has real data in it, which is going to correlate with your HubSpot so that you can see the final result of that document within your HubSpot. Hello, this is JB who is editing the video after the fact. I realized that here in the video you see 4 steps in this zap. I just want to make it, or I just want to correct the record and say that I had an extraneous step in my second zap where I was trying to find the contact in HubSpot, and it ended up not being necessary, so you will only need these 3 steps. Sorry if you see that 4th step earlier in the video. This is the way to do it. Thanks. All right, next up, you're going to find the file in Google Drive. So this is why in our first Zap, naming the document the name of the meeting topic was important, because here you're going to find the file name, which is also going to be the name of the meeting topic, right? So this is how you're making sure that your two separate Zaps can talk to each other, right? So this meeting topic is the name of the calendar invite on Google Calendar. We're making that the name of our Word doc, and that way we can find it here in this step using the summary name from the Google Calendar event, right? So that way your Google Calendar event and your Word doc are going to be named the same thing so that you can find them easy. That's pretty simple. That's all you have to drop in there is to find the calendar summary name of the document, and from there you're going to click test. You should see the file was sent to Google Drive. Lastly, and this is the most important step, you're going to hook up your HubSpot so that that Google document is going to be added to the correct people's customer profiles. So those people are being pulled from the event in Google Calendar. So in the engagement type, you can select, I'm going to select meeting. You can have this be a task, an email, whatever you would like. The meeting title, I've picked the meeting of the original calendar event and then added Zoom AI summary to it. The meeting description is where your file links are going to go. And then the rest of this, the meeting start time and end time, that's just HubSpot data that I wanted. It's not necessary to make this work. But this is the most important part, right? Emails of the contact objects that should be associated with engagement. This is why you need that calendar event to be ended in Google Calendar, so that from here, event ended in Google Calendar, you can scroll down and find the attendee emails. That's what's going to go in that box. And that should be the last thing. From there, you're going to click test. And if your engagement is successful, that's when you're going to want to go to the HubSpot contact card of one of the people who is listed here as an attendee email and make sure that that Google document ended up in their profile. So at that point, you should be able to see meeting, Zoom AI summary with all of the attached attendees. And then there's my link to my Google document. And this is what has landed within my customer contact card within HubSpot, and it's going to be attached to all of the people who were an attendee in this meeting. Okay, that's it. So it's 2 steps, 2 Zaps, 6 steps total. It's really a pretty easy process. I can't believe this didn't exist anywhere before now. But yeah, my testing with all of this was successful. If you guys run into any kind of hiccups whatsoever, let me know in the comments, and I'll see if I can find a viable solution. But that's how you would take a Zoom AI summary and send it to a HubSpot contact card for easy email recapping.